everybody. Welcome back to the Dice Tower. My name is Zee Garcia.
I'm Chris Yee.
I'm Mike DiLisio.
And I'm Roy Cannaday.
And we are back with another Catchupalooza. This is a series in which we bring a game out to the table that one of us or several of us haven't played before, and we want to catch those people up on that game. It's either something that was mentioned in studio or maybe on a top 100 list. We want to get some reactions. So we're going to today be talking about Nexus Ops. And I believe Mike is the only one who hadn't played this.
That is correct.
Yeah,
I'm the sole non-player.
Right. So we're going to hear a little bit about what the rest of us think about it. And then, Mike, we'll go to you, see what you thought about it. And then, we'll discuss that if it needs discussing. So I guess I'll start. Even though I haven't played it in a little bit longer than you guys, so maybe I should start with you fellas. Let's go with Roy. I feel like Roy should be leading here with this discussion about what he thinks of Nexus Ops.
It was on your list, Roy. Didn't it?
It was on my top 100 list.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
Nexus Ops is a game where you're trying to control different areas and build up resources and be able to gather different resources to make units, and then you're just going and smashing each other in combats, trying to fulfill different goals, rolling dice. We'll have a link to the actual review video in the description below, so if you want to check out even more of like what's the game's all about. But I really enjoy Nexus Ops. It is one of those games that's very crazy. I mean, you're in each other's face the entire time. It's a game that rewards combat, rewards smashing each other. I mean, literally, you just get points for defeating other people in combat. But I really enjoy also the fact that there's a little bit of tiny little resource management as you're trying to collect different goods and control different areas to get those resources, so then you can figure out which units you want to buy. I love games where you have a bunch of different types of units and you have to choose how you're going to spend your money to buy those, and then using those to attack other players. That's kind of my jam. This game is extremely lucky. There's dice rolls all over the place, but there are different strengths of units, so you can kind of know, well, oh man, hopefully I can make this happen. But then there's also a lot of hidden objectives and goals that you're trying to figure out how to use. It also has a little bit of a catch-up. If you lose a combat, you get these cards, like energized cards, that are going to be super helpful in combats and hopefully can help you combo off things and help you get back into it. But also, if you take over the middle of the board, you're going to be getting 2 of those each turn. So there's lots of different aspects to this game. And this game is quite old. Like, it's a game that's been around for a while. And I still find it very enjoyable. And it's pretty highly regarded, I think, by the community as a whole.
All right, Chris, what do you think?
I mean, ditto everything that Roy just said with his same energy and everything. I adore this game. It's such a fast-paced kind of war game, I guess you would call it. I'm not going to tread on terms here, but it's fast, it's punchy. You roll a lot of dice, and I mean, it just does a lot of things right. Where if you lose battles, you get a lot of your units destroyed. Hey, draw a special power card. That's definitely going to come up later when you say, oh, I rolled a 2, I need to hit on a 4. Well, here's this card that turns that 2 into a 4. Bam! On a big moment that you need that in a combat. You know, it rewards you for getting crushed a little bit, so it prevents people from just getting smashed and obliterated, and then it lets you kind of push back, and I really like it.
All right. Well, for me, I like it as well. I wouldn't say maybe as passionately as you two. I think it's a good game, but at the end of the day, it is a Risk-esque game with more to it, right? It fixes, quote-unquote, fixes many of the issues that folks might have with Risk, you know. There are those cards, you are right, and because of the way the game is structured, it does incentivize attacking. So this is not a turtling game. It fixes that. You're not going to make as many points by turtling. You might not make any points by turtling. You have to be the one who engages in combat. And it does have that central area, which is very rewarding. But, of course, if you are there, you're holding that flag, everybody will attack you. And then I really like the unit attack procedure. You know, the idea of the characters attacking in a specific order, but by the time a character's initiative might come up, it might have been killed on the board, so you no longer have that character. I like that aspect of it. The game it's fun, but I don't think it's a tremendous game, and it's one that does feel pretty lucky, like you guys said, and I think it's a rough and tumble game. This kind of
Yes.
feels a little dirty, right? It feels
Yep.
a little grimy a little bit. And that can be fun, but I don't always want to play that. So, having said all of that, Mike, you recently played the game. What did you think of it?
Okay, well, a couple of things. First of all, I'll start with the things that were maybe a bit of negative. I do feel like it shows its age. It does not feel like a modern game. There are some rough edges that I feel like were designed today would be done maybe a little bit differently. We've talked about the randomness. I feel like it is very, very random. It really is. But there are some things about the game that I really liked as well. I have tried very hard to coin a phrase in gaming. You know how they talk about popcorn movies? You've heard that phrase before?
Yeah.
This to me is a popcorn game. Check your brain at the door, right? Because it's stupid, but it's stupid fun. It is. It's stupid fun. And the thing that I think really works to its advantage is it has really good pacing. You never feel like there's any downtime. I mean, you're always doing something. And to me, this game is all about the cards. My favorite aspect of the game is two things. Number one, Zee already mentioned it. It's that priority order, the initiative order. That's a very smart design decision. That actually feels like a modern design decision.
I
That was
agree.
cool.
I think that part of it does feel like the most interesting mechanically. The one part that is like, ooh, that's
cool.
interesting. Yes, I agree with that.
Yeah, that's the one that has the most. That's not stupid at all. That's actually very innovative. I like that. But to me, my favorite part of the game are those cards that Roy was talking about. And what's funny, Roy, is that it reminded me a bit of another game that is very well regarded that I had played for the first time very recently, which is TI4. Well, whatever TI. I played TI4. That was my favorite part of that game, too, is having these secret objectives, making, being the paper tiger, making people think that, oh, I don't know what I'm doing here. Bam, there's 15 points. I like that. I like being able to kind of chain and pull. And Chris, if I remember right, didn't you do that at one point? Like basically you were losing consistently the whole game. You had very few points. And then he's like, oh, here's one turn where I got 7 points all of a sudden, right?
Yeah.
That was kind of fun. It was like no one was paying any attention to Chris.
Oh, I was attacking him the entire game. What are you talking about?
Well, because you thought he was a weak, simple, an easy target, right? I mean, Chris was like, yeah, here's the meat shield. But then he came and he's like, now I've got this card. Oh, but wait, I also have this card. Oh, wait, I have this card too. 7 points, right? And so that was fun. I like that. But again, check your brain at the door because, it's pretty stupid. It's pretty random, but it's fun. Ultimately, it's fun. It would not go anywhere near my top 100 list, but Roy, I understand why you like it so much. And it probably holds a lot of nostalgia for you too, I would think.
Yeah, it's definitely very enjoyable.
Yeah, overall, I'm very glad I had a chance to play it.
I think you're right about the popcorn board game. I think is a great way to put it, Mike. That's exactly the kind of game it is. It's cinematic. It's a Michael Bay production as opposed to like a Spielberg production, though.
Right.
It's just that kind of game. There are some clever things, some things that that look good and hold up. But there's also, you can tell in some ways when the game is from because the plastic pieces in the edition that was played, the plastic pieces are gorgeous, really well done plastic pieces, and then the cardboard is some cut-rate stuff.
Yeah, for sure.
So there's that sort of idea of the card quality, the cardboard. So that's just the kind of game it is. But you're right. You check your brain at the door. You stop the sort of pretentious idea of, let me understand this game. What was the designer trying to say? He was trying to say roll some dice and don't get smashed. That's what he was trying to say. Play that game and you'll have fun. I'm glad.
I sometimes get flack for liking these crazy random games or like Ameritrash style games. But one of the reasons that I really enjoy it is because you can play it with all sorts of different levels of gamer. If you're like hardcore gamer and you're all into games and you play a game that's extremely deterministic, you're probably going to win because you have more experience with that style of game. This is the kind of game where the luck and the randomness and the fighting each other to death kind of evens the playing field. Basically anybody has a chance to win this game. It just depends on how they play it out and how the dice fall. So I really enjoy Nexus Ops for that stuff too.
And we know that this is true, Roy, because I actually won the game. So that is truth right there.
And playing a game like this every now and then reminds you, especially if you play with non-gamers, right? Folks that play very casually. Reminds you to, put that stuff away every now and then and just enjoy what's in front of you for what it is.
Right.
Enjoy the simplicity of rolling dice, of dealing with what the game deals you, of just enjoying the game for the sake of fun and nothing else. No brain flexing. No, I'm smarter than anybody else. I could do this in 12 moves where it took you 13. Just having a blast. Right. So it sounds like that's kind of where you landed, Mike, even if you could see that the game's got some years under its belt.
Sure. That's about right.
I think for me, though...
Go ahead, Chris.
I think for me, I'm going to go ahead with your director's analogy here, right? This is not Michael Bay level, right? This is maybe more, Guillermo del Toro, right? It's something that's action-y, explosive, cinematic, but still, it doesn't melt your brain with how done it is, right?
Okay,
I think that's a step up, right? Because you have secret objective cards. How did I make it so that I could play out 7 points worth of cards all at once? Well, I had to deal with what life dealt me, but I was also able to react to drawing one of these secret objective cards every turn. Okay, these two are going to pair together. What's this looking over here? Maybe if Roy comes this way, I can kind of swoop around. It's not thinking. I'm not Napoleon here, but I can take advantage based on some information that I do have, building up turn after turn. And every game I've played of this, I've been able to lay out 6 or 7 points in a single round and kind of have that big jump. And I think that adds to the cinematic nature, the excitement of it, which for me is more of a payoff than any Michael Bay movie.
Well, that's no argument, really.
Low bar.
It's a pretty low bar there, yes.
Yeah. No, that's well said, Chris. That's well said. I mean, you did pull that off, and that takes planning, certainly. You could just... you only have a certain number of turns in the game till the game is over. If you plan them right, you will have bigger turns. That's certainly something to be considered. Anybody else? Anything else? Think we're good?
Nope.
All
good
right.
stuff, Roy. Thanks for suggesting it, Roy. It was fun.
There we go. So, folks, that's going to do it for us on this Catchupalooza. Stay tuned for more of these. We'll be catching up on all sorts of games, as well as reviews and, well, everything else that we do here. Thanks for watching The Dice Tower. My name is Zee Garcia.
I'm Chris Yee.
I'm Mike DiLisio.
And I'm Roy Cannaday.
And we are out of here. Have fun gaming.